in God and believe in me also. Let Jehovah God and his Christ have rule over you. Do not allow the things of this world, money, building, man, food, cloth, etc. to rule over you. When they rule over you, it means you are finished. In God there is no duplication. Recall when our Lord Jesus Christ said to his disciples, he will go to Jerusalem to be beaten, tortured and be killed finally by the Jews. Peter stood up and yelled, such a thing cannot happen, far be it from me, Lord. And Christ retorted, get behind me, Satan, because ye thinketh not the things of God but that of man. The situation of things in the world reveals that money rules over all of you, both great and small. If a meager sum of money falls to the ground, now every person beholding it becomes alert and captivated. The infants and adults talk about money indiscriminately. You allow yourself to be ruled over by money. Tell me the profit derived, if you allow yourself to be ruled over by money or be bought by fornication, you fornicate from infancy to death. What kind of human being are you? Or are you a ghost? What do you stand to gain having eaten meat, fish, and even frog and dog? Even at old age, where you don't have teeth any longer, you grind them and swallow, as one does a bolus. What manner of man are you? There are many people in this hall up till this moment they continue to snuff, but I don't want to mention names. There are also many people in this hall who are so given to drinking. No matter the quantity of food the person will eat, he will not fail to wash it down with at least a cup of drink. Though there are many such persons here, I will not mention names. There are men and women also in this hall who cannot sleep alone on the bed, and the person will exclaim, how can I sleep alone on the bed, when I was not created alone? Such cannot happen. There are others who are given to quarreling. If such persons don't quarrel in a day, they can't feel comfortable. Have you not heard the advice, you should not be so cool and do not be so hot, don't be so sweet and do not be so bitter. If you are so sweet you will be swallowed, and if you are so bitter you will be spat out. When you declare that one person takes the likeness of the other, or the other person resembles the other man, watch with extreme care, because they do not resemble each other in all ramifications. On the course of looking closely you will discover that the two people have different ears, nose and other body members. That means you are seeing somebody close in likeness, or like the other person but not that person actually. God does not duplicate a human being. Each day changes. The first day cannot be the same with the second. Every man is sent into the world with a specific assignment. All of us have our assignments which we have come to accomplish. Nobody does another's duty. God does not subject himself to any of the things he created. I don't intend to overload you. I believe that your eyes are opened today. The first lesson should be read. First lesson, 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 12. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed, lest he fall. Take heed. If you allow anything to rule over you, you will fall, and you have fallen already. It is advised, nobody should be angry, or fight, or make noise, or quarrel. But eventually there is a power failure here at night, and surprisingly you begin to whistle, sigh, and make noise. By so doing have you not fallen? Are you not troubled at heart? You will start to run helter-skelter to find lanterns or look for torchlight. Others will query why there is a power failure at all, or why the plant operator has not acted promptly. But I will still remain at my corner unperturbed. Did I come into the world with light? You will also realize that any day you come in here and there is nobody to play the organ, you will become disturbed. You ask to know the whereabouts of the organist or why the organ is not operated so the songs in this place will be controlled. You will be so disturbed, you will find it uneasy to cope without the organ being operated. But I am not bothered whether it is there for 20 years and nobody operates it, because I did not come with it. Whether it is operated or not, we are always going forward. But you have given yourself so much to the organ that any day it is not operated you are ready to fight and kill. Do all things moderately. Be moderate in your undertaking. It is good for one to drink. But when you want to drink or eat, take a little quantity of water and food. If you have no food the next day, control and adjust your stomach so you may not be troubled. But now you are troubled at heart, when you have been told already not to be troubled. This is eminent, because you allow food and water to dominate your life. If somebody went to the church with an intention, when he abstains from stealing, fornication, drinking and eating of meat, he will have money, wife and children, and yet having abstained from these things he does not possess all that he wanted, do you think such a person will go to the church any longer? That is why, sometimes you find somebody who decried meat and fish going back to eat them. By so doing he has failed. He will console himself that, since those things, children, money and wife, are not forthcoming, he should go back to his old system, eating of meat and fish. At times you find somebody being regular in the church for quite a long time, but after some time you find him with diabolical things all over his body, preparing juju and charms. Why has he done that? He actually surrendered himself to one of these tendencies, which blocked him, and because of that he derailed from the path of righteousness. Upon the numerous women that replete the world, for your wife to divorce you, you start to cause trouble and cannot even eat. With your luxurious cars and wealth you cannot endure that situation. Why is it so? It is because you have surrendered yourself to be ruled over by that woman. Upon all the women around you, don't you see them? Why then are you worried and peculiar about your wife? For your husband to divorce you, you become sick and lean as a result of not eating food, because your husband has decided to divorce you. What should cause you to look so frustrated and desolate? What about these numerous men around you? It is because you have lusted for that particular man, and that is your problem. Is that not what has kept you in the position you find yourself? Is that not what kills you? Then you begin to recount, I am always given up to anger and valor. Really is, whoever allows himself to be ruled over by anything is an easily angered human being, is a wicked man, a murderer, a thief, and the same is Satan. Sometimes you give alms to a beggar, and expect him to greet you or to appreciate your benevolence to him, but surprisingly he casts stones at you and curses you. Only that behavior of the beggar will force you to think otherwise. By so doing, I ask, have you not fallen? You thought initially, when you gave the beggar alms, he will kowtow and praise you with endless thanks, but eventually he surprises you. You may also give somebody money with the motive of sending him on an errand, but as soon as you call on him he yells out an excuse. Will you, at such an instance, not be troubled? To you, it will seem you are tricked. You will even regret having given him money at all. Take heed, lest you fall. Have you not heard what our Lord Jesus Christ says, that whoever looks at a woman lustfully has, in his heart, committed fornication with her? Matthew chapter 5 verse 28. It is further said, whoever covets his neighbor's property has stolen it, and therefore he is a thief. The Bible enjoins, you should not covet thy neighbor's property. But if you do, you have offended, and you are worthy of death. Your salvation lies in this gospel. The gospel of today is a powerful type of gospel. Have you not seen the degree of deaths, hatred, and sins in the world? The fact is, you have allowed yourself to be ruled over by the things of this world. If you go out from this hall, if you don't find a taxi cab, you can't go to 26 Brooklyn, because you are used to plying this distance with vehicle. Man is like a fowl, and wherever you keep the fowl it starts to find its food there. That is the type of life you should live. If you don't give yourself to be ruled over by anybody or thing, you will live a problem-free life. You will not be angry, tell lies, nor covet another's property, and you will dwell with the Father. If God were to be confident in man or surrendered himself to him, do you think he would have made the sun to shine upon the roof of every person, and will he send rain upon the just and the unjust? As long as you surrender yourself to a particular thing, it means you are lost and there is no salvation for you, because you have perished already. Whether money, man, life, good health, don't plunge your heart in them, but have your hope on God, repose your confidence in Him, trust Him and surrender yourself to Him and you shall be free. But don't dare surrender yourself to the things of this earth, else you have committed sin. None is good, except God. You can recall what Christ said, when a certain young man approached him and said, Lord, charge that my brother should give me my share of the inheritance. Christ said, Oh, man, who made me a judge and a divider over you? And he said, Take heed of covetousness. Whatever a man owns, his life is not in his hands. But in your own case, if 1 naira is missing, you consult Oracle to find out things for yourself. You will continue to disagree, and in the end you will even lose your life. At times you are troubled if somebody accuses you of stealing and telling lies. At that extent you become worried, because in your heart you tend to believe you are the only perfect human being, and because you are accused of what you think you have never done, you decide to teach the person a lesson. While dealing with that person,